We are glad to welcome you to our channel. Kindly subscribe to our channel and share our videos with your friends and relations. And click on the bell icon for instant notification whenever new videos are uploaded on this channel. Rest assured that we are going to have a very exciting and inspiring discussion. Let's dive into the lesson right away. In today's lesson, we are going to look at the auxiliary verbs be, do, and have. These three primary auxiliary verbs are essential in forming the various tenses in English, and they are used in very many different ways. In this lesson, we will learn about the different forms and uses of these verbs. I am Benjamin from English Classes Online. Let's begin with the first one, the auxiliary verb be. The auxiliary verb be is used to form the progressive and passive tenses in English. The forms of be are am, is, are, which constitute the present tenses. Then we have was and were, which are past tenses, which are used to form past tenses, the past tense. And then we have been for the past participle and being for the present participle. Let's take a look at some examples of how be is used in sentences. Hi, she is studying for her exams. This is, present progressive or present continuous if you like. Another example, they were playing soccer in the park. This is an example of past progressive. Another example is the book has been written by a famous author. Has been written. This is the present perfect tense, which of course is passive. This book has been written by a famous author. Another example, the movie was being watched by millions of people. This is past continuous passive, the movie was being watched by millions of people. Be can also be used as a main verb to describe a state of being. For example, she is happy today. She is happy today. They were tired after the long hike. They were tired after the long hike. I have been sick for a week. I have been sick for a week. This brings us to the second auxiliary verb, the auxiliary verb do. This auxiliary verb is used to form questions, negative and emphatic sentences in English. The forms of do are do and does for the present tense, did for the past tense. Let's look at some examples of how do is used in sentences. Do you like pizza? That is a question. Do you like pizza? Of course, this is a yes or no question. Do you like pizza? Then another example, she doesn't speak Spanish. This is negative, she doesn't. The doesn't is the short form for she does not speak past Spanish. So we shorten it to she doesn't speak Spanish. This is negative. Then the emphatic, you can say, I did see the movie, but I didn't like it. The first part is emphatic. I did see the movie. Then the second part uses the negative, but I didn't like it. I did see the movie, but I didn't like it. Do can also be used as a main verb to describe an action. For example, they do their homework every day. They do. So apart from being used as an auxiliary verb, and of course, you ought to know that an auxiliary verb is a helping verb. When you use any of these verbs as an auxiliary verb, you are using it to help another verb, which is the main verb, to convey its meaning in a sentence. But each of these three primary auxiliary verbs can also be used as a main verb. So we can use do as a main verb to describe an action. For example, they do their homework every day. So here, the verb do is used alone. Another example, he did a great job on the project. He did a great job on the project. This brings us to the third auxiliary verb, and that is the auxiliary verb have. This auxiliary verb is used to form the perfect tenses in English. The forms of have are have and has for the present tense, had for the past tense, and of course had also for the past participle. Now let's look at some examples of how have can be used in sentences. You know how you can use have in sentences. Let's look at how they are used as auxiliary verb. I have finished my work for the day. This is present perfect. I have finished. And when you look at it, you discover that verb, have, is used as a helping verb. In this sentence, have is helping the main verb finished. I have finished. Now, if you remove have, what you have is a simple past tense. I finished my work for the day. But here, you want to add the perfective aspect, the fact that you are emphasizing the completion, the fact that the work has been completed. I have finished my work for the day. Another example, they had already eaten by the time I arrived. This is the past perfect, and each time you use the past perfect, you are expressing a past event and you are placing it side by side with another past event. So we call this past in the past. There are two actions, two events here. I had already eaten. They had already eaten. You know, the action, the event of their eating, of the action of their eating food is one. By the time I arrive, the event of my arrival is another event. So there are two events, their eating and my arrival. And then the one that happened first is the one we report with the past perfect. They had already eaten by the time I arrived. This is past perfect tense. This is an example of using have to form the past perfect tense. They had already eaten by the time I arrived. Another example, she has been studying for hours. This is the present perfect progressive, or the present perfect continuous if you like. She has been studying for hours. Present perfect progressive. Have can also be used as a main verb to describe possession or experienced. For example, I have a car. If you will notice that the previous two primary auxiliary verbs can be used as an auxiliary verb and also as a main verb. And here we are looking at the third one. We have examined how you can use have as an auxiliary verb, but now we are looking at how you can also use it as a main verb. When you use have as a main verb, as in this first example, you are using it to indicate possession. I have a car, which means there is a car that belongs to me. I have a car. And then another example, she has a lot of experience in sales. You know, a lot of experience in sales belongs to her. You know, she has a lot of experience in sales. In this lesson, we have learned about the auxiliary verbs be, do, and have. And we have seen that be is used to form the progressive and passive tenses. Do is used to form questions, negatives, and emphatic sentences. And have is used to form the perfect tenses. We have also seen how these verbs can be used as main verbs to describe a state of being, an action, possession, or experience. By mastering these essential auxiliary verbs, you'll be able to speak and write more effectively in English. So that brings us to the end of today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I look forward to seeing you in the next class. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, kindly leave them in the comment section below. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new